So hi, Kievian and Kim.
How you doing?
So what brings you guys here today?
Well, we just wanted to come in again, and as you know, the last time we were kind of going through the motions. Something dealing with a lot of problems in our relationship. Last time we talked, we did what you said. We kind of put things out there, and communication was one of the big things that you discussed, and we've really been communicating very well, and things are going pretty good. And I guess I just wanted to sit down with you and discuss one little problem that I have as far as how long do you think, and I know it's maybe kind of a personal opinion, but I've given my all in this relationship, and I just want more out of the relationship. I want to live my life right, through Christ, and I know she does too. And I don't know if there's some things that she still wants for me or wanted me to do before she says yes to marriage.
Okay, that sounds like a good opening start. Kim, do you have any requests, or is there anything that possibly is hindering you at this point?
Things have gotten better. We are communicating a lot better. And even though I'm trying to overcome this, I think a lot of it's based on the past, and I am still thinking, what if, or although I am seeing change in him, I'm always afraid of what I don't know or what could happen. I guess basing all that on what's happened in the past.
Now that sounds reasonable. The one thing that I listened to when Kievian was speaking is a concept of a godly marriage. Now, have you considered what a godly perspective of marriage would bring to the both of you?
Most definitely. I definitely am trying to. We both would like to live our life right. We know, as far as right now, we're not married and we live together. And I also think about what type of example. We have an 8-year-old daughter together. What type of example am I setting for her? She knows we're not married,
right?
But
I think we like she said, we both. She goes to church more than I do, but I grew up in the church, and it's not like I don't want to get back in Christ. You know what I mean, or become closer to Christ. It's a lot of the fear of the past, and sometimes the past does haunt our relationship, even on my end. You know what I mean? I bring up a lot of things that I know it's not right. It's not healthy to bring up if we're trying to move forward. So,
he may criticize me for something I do as far as accusing or bringing up the past, but then in the next day he's doing the same thing to me. So I'm like, what makes what you're doing any better? I mean, you're doing the same thing you get mad at me for doing.
And it's not right. It really isn't. And that's one thing, like I said, we want to talk to you about, is just trying to get over that hump of always trying to, form roadblocks in the road, or as far as us moving completely forward, and you know what I mean, just getting back to where we used to be, where we were completely happy without all the worries of who might do this or who that person might be with or anything. You know what I mean?
Well, the one thing that I always believe in any relationship, when we're seeking to find who the next person are, or who's that next person, or who's that person we're aiming to be with, we generally find out more about myself. What is it that I'm doing? How and why am I holding on to the past so much? What is it that I'm doing to limit me from being the man of God that I desire to be? I understand that in any relationship, as I would like you to look at, there's problems. People don't be married for 50, 60 years without roadblocks. It's the basics of God as the married here. To get us, you say that she goes to church more than you, but you have a biblical principle that you was raised with. You guys possibly would like to look at sharing God. Let us communicate with a prayer. Let's bring God into this. Let's start seeking Him first. To acknowledge that the way you're living is not wholesome.
Right.
That there's an 8-year-old child. She's got feelings as well. If you desire her, if though the past has been an issue, you have made it to this point. I see that the verbiage itself is a blocker. As long as I say my past, that's where I'm focused.
That's right. And you know, I mean, I will say this, and it's more so her than it is myself, but that doesn't mean that I don't think about it on a regular basis. I think she's more vocal than I am when it comes to the what ifs or, you know, or whatever the case might be. And I think it's one of those problems that we share, and we maybe not even, we know that we share it, but I don't think neither one of us know how to overcome it or get past it. You know what I mean? But I mean, as far as putting God in our relationship, we've even talked about maybe going to church together. I think that would be something that would help us both. You know what I mean? Just kind of just guide us on the right path, and you know, lead us into doing things the correct way. And that's like starting with marriage, but I don't think neither one of us want to go into a marriage with any doubts in our mind that we made a mistake.
Well, you know, Kim, I want to ask you, Kim, what do you think?
I think my fear is with there being such a high divorce rate these days. I mean, and I know going into marriage, you shouldn't think about divorce. So that's why I know that I still have issues that I need to work through before I'm to that point. I mean, I come from a divorced family. My mom and my dad were married for 25 years, and then they divorced. And just with so many divorces, marriages end in divorce so much these days, more so than not. It's just a fear.
But,
Why do you think
every relationship is different? You know, just because.
I know it's not right. I'm just telling you
Right.
what.
I mean, I understand.
Why do you think marriages in this generation end in divorce?
I think a lot of it has to do with infidelity. I mean, them not, I think that's a major part of it.
Do you believe in the concept of maturing?
Yes, and change. I mean, because that is one of the problems we've had in the past. And I used to think that he couldn't change, and I have definitely noticed a change for the good.
That's really good.
You know, and in my defense, I'm 37 years old. Things are not attractive to me as they once were, meaning going out, kicking it with friends, or, you know, I mean, sometimes when you have kids and you're able to watch them grow, it kind of puts things in perspective. You know, I think I sent her a text today, and it was just saying, sitting here looking at Big Daddy, it kind of makes me want to emulate him in a whole lot of ways. You know how people in a community loved him or loves him, you know what I'm saying? And it just makes me want to become that man. That, you know what I mean? And I know in every great man, you have to have a great woman, you know. So there's a lot of things that you have to cut out that you know is not healthy for any relationship.
Do you feel that Kim is your great woman?
I really and truly believe that. I pray about it every night. You know what I mean? And granted, everybody's different. Just because I feel a certain way doesn't mean I'm her king. You know what I mean? But sometimes I wear my heart on the sleeve, and I'm not ashamed to tell her that. Now, whether she bite the hook or not, you know what I mean? That's just, I'm willing to deal with that. Because I'm at an age right now, if you don't want to be with me, I understand. Because I have made mistakes. I've made enough mistakes to where maybe you cannot forgive me. And I'm cool with that. And I'm honestly cool with that. I just want you to be happy.
You know, even in the process of you using the term, even if you can't forgive me, but yet you guys are building a life together.
Right?
How does that work for you?
I find it as a problem. Because to me, it's like, yeah, I forgive you, but I can't forget, or I won't forget. I choose not to forget, but I want us to progress in our relationship. But it don't go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Because you build yourself up, but you constantly tear yourself down with this, I'm not going to forget. Or, you know what I mean?
Kim, what is your take on that?
It's hard. I mean, I deal with this every day, but then he may do something. Or for instance, I call him, he doesn't answer the phone, and I call him again, he still doesn't answer. My mind's racing. Well, why is he not answering the phone? What's he doing? Why can't he answer the phone? Just simple things like that.
So you
I mean,
tend to let your own mind pull you into that, or past
Yeah,
behaviors?
past behavior, and that then makes my mind wonder. Well, you know,
Do you guys have a
It's not-
code for answering the phone? I mean, 2 rings, text me, or
No, I mean, I completely know what you're talking about because I've been there before. Like today was a prime example. You called, I didn't answer. My phone was on vibrate after church, or actual silent. I didn't see that she had called. But I mean, I understand where she's coming from because again, my mind races sometimes too. Not so much now, but it used to when we were really having problems.
well, one thing about learning to love a person, it takes a godly concept. And I know you guys both know my views on being a Christian. I know that we can do nothing without God first. And if we want to make a relationship work, we have to utilize it. And in our last session, we talked about this. You know, learning to pray together, learning to go to God together. You know, instead of I'm living in my world trying to wonder what's in your world, you're living in your world, kind of wondering what she's thinking and wondering if I'm still giving off major cues.
Right.
You're going to have to build. Have you guys watched the movie Fireproof?
I have.
I've seen it.
Have y'all seen it together?
Did we? I think we did. I think we
It's
did.
been a while, but yeah.
Yes.
I would urge you, encourage you, try that again, to watch it for the basis of not just watching the movie. To find pieces inside of it and take possibly 5 things independently from that movie. And I don't care what 5 that you find that you can take from that movie and you can write down and you bring back to the next session, and because I've watched it, and we'll see what it is that we can benefit from.
Okay.
Sometimes I need a little outside help. I encourage you both to seek God. Just put Him first. Lose sight of self right now. Remind yourself there's an 8-year-old child who's going to benefit or not for the information she has of her parents
Right.
and what she grows up to choose in life based on the environment and what society is going to offer her. As Kim, you seem to understand, society's brought this negative impact of marriage. It's a quick fix. You can get out of it quicker. But I hope you guys see where the benefit of understanding of each other independently, but to become a whole. Kim, you got anything else? No questions? And I'll be glad when we get to what we do on the honeymoon thing.
That'd be nice. You know, God ain't gonna bless no mess.
No, but He makes room for us, I believe, to get it right.
10 years.
10. It's a lot of investment, Kim.
I know. I think about that every day.
I would like to also add, and I remember my mom saying, if you're good enough to sleep with, you're good enough to marry. All right, y'all have a great one, okay?
Thank you.